Hello, I'm MPX Toycat, and you're probably familiar with the fact that some features in Minecraft only work on the Bedrock or Java version of the game. A lot of these features have been ironed out or added to one version or the other, but most people know the Redstone systems work very differently, and this applies to Redstone from 1.13 onwards, which is very different in the Bedrock version to the Java version, and let me show you exactly how and why that's true, because we're going to grab some repeaters, and by grab, I presumably mean craft because we have only 5 right here. We're going to grab ourselves a lot of repeaters and show you what I mean. And just as something important, by the way, I genuinely didn't know this was a Bedrock exclusive until recently. When 1.13 came out, I assumed you could also do this on Java, place minecarts and make underwater minecart tracks, but apparently that's not true, and it's also not true that you can place a ton of different blocks to do a redstone underwater as well. So let's say we have ourselves a redstone repeater. We can't do this with redstone dust, which I think is very interesting. Redstone dust will not place underwater, still destroyed, but redstone repeaters totally can be. This means if you have just a few key mechanics, like let's say a lever, a redstone repeater, and then a redstone lamp, what you can do is you can have redstone which functions entirely underwater. It seems incredibly strange to look at, right? I mean, just the very premise of this is a bit strange to me, but the results are we can do some very interesting things like we're going to do today once we grab some more redstone lamps, because I'm going to need a lot more than one of these if I'm going to do what I'm doing today. Also, I'll just leave this here as a fun thing for people who download this map. But yeah, you'll see what I mean after we've gone to the Nether and we've picked ourselves up some glowstone dust. Fortunately, I happen to know I have some glowstone just behind my lovely oxide daisy field. I'm always worried about spending too much time here because ghast might attack, but as you can see, we're going to pick up some glowstone and then turn that glowstone into magic stone, or whatever they call it, redstone lamps. We'll just leave this hole here because I think it's going to be funny that you can walk around and see it. You know what? No, I'll actually entirely forget about that. Let's patch this up with a stone block, and then it'll look natural, like a blending into the walls. Yeah, I'm so smart. I know what I'm doing. Oh, dear God. See, that is exactly what I was trying to avoid. Oh, as it so turns out, I did build redstone lamps so recently that I literally have them lying around right here, which will be handy because I think I need so many more anyway that it's not even a problem. So let's now have 24 redstone lamps, plus, I don't know, 28 redstone repeaters, and let's show you what we can do with all of that combined, because here is the problem I have in my world. In fact, this is a problem I think Minecraft Bedrock has on a larger scale than Java, but Minecraft kind of has as a whole, and it's something they do want to avoid. It's kind of Minecraft decay, I would say. So one of the big goals for a lot of people is to build automatic farms, or even just to build farms for various resources that you might want. One of the farms you might know that I built, because it took me so many weeks and hours as of, oh, I guess we're going through the site here. This is something you might know I built because it took me so long, a couple of years ago, is I decided, I guess really 5 years ago now, I decided to build a gold farm. This is that gold farm. It utilized a mechanic where zombie pigmen would spawn from nether portals and they would fall down to the ground. I guess it actually works again now, but now they're piglins instead of pigmen. So as you can see, I can kill the pigmen, and then they will drop for me some lovely gold nuggets and some rotten flesh. This technically makes it a gold farm. It also makes it a golden sword farm, which really I should start smelting down. But you see the point. I've made myself a golden ingot farm, but while you wait here, nothing much really happens. Even though, as you can see, I've got so many nether portals lined up, the spawn rate of zombie pigmen is just so low on the Bedrock version that this farm functionally doesn't work, besides that one time just then that it did. And so yeah, I'm in this very dark space. I can't put lights in here, because if I put lights in here, do you know what happens? It melts the ice, it's a whole problem. And so what is the clear solution? I think we all know, it's underwater redstone. Because get this right, if I were to go under here, I don't know how much I can really see through ice, but I think because ice is transparent, I can see the ground down there. I could probably also see, in fact, based on this, I can see light. I could probably also, therefore, see if there was anything interesting, like perhaps, say, some, you know, redstone lamps activated to some repeaters. And so what we can do, just like this, is place a row of repeaters down, have a lamp on one side and a redstone torch on the other. I guess not a redstone torch on the other. Have a lever on the other, and look at this. Now I can make a redstone lamp. And just to confirm this does work, from all the way up here, while I'm, you know, like watching my zombie pigmen fall, and by that I mean going AFK, which, you know, according to the amount people love farms, must be the best part of Minecraft. But yeah, if we break up out here, you can see that even from up here, even past this huge thick layer of ice, I can still see the redstone happening. Which means I have a theory that we could probably make like a really fun moderately complex redstone system that could keep us some company if we were actively sitting here trying to play the game. Because going to sleep once every 10 minutes is not engaging gameplay, in my opinion. But if I need gold, my farm is going to involve something to do with this. You know, I don't think I will ever make a gold farm. I think I like just watching this horrifically inefficient gold farm that produces 1 gold ingot every 2 to 3 minutes. But just so you know. But we'll talk about the ramifications of change and stuff on that later. But for now, that is the goal for today's video. Let's see if we can do it. First things first, though, we're going to place our lever somewhere, I guess wherever this, do you see how I've already got this pillar over here? If I use this to my advantage, I can use this as like a point downwards for the redstone to act on. Probably. That sounds like a set of words that makes sense. And so if we use this to our advantage, like I intend to, then we can make ourselves, okay, is all the water going to be gone? No, it's not. In fact, where does this even lead to? Why do I set weird things like this up? Like, what? Why is this cave even in existence? I don't understand. Oh, I guess it's a point that comes up from somewhere else? That comes up from a mine shaft. Well, that's useful to know, isn't it? Should we pick up the iron ore while we're here anyway? I mean, I guess we probably should. There's this funny problem to me that comes in the state of... Wait. There's this funny problem that comes in for me, which is like, when you have such a big area that you're like trying to take care of, like say a Minecraft world which is infinite, the longer you do things and the longer you start and don't finish things, the more that can kind of come to bite you in the rear end. And the easy response a lot of people have is like, well, never have unfinished projects. That's clearly the solution. But I think like working on things that don't bring you happiness is also not a very good solution. And so I think the end result is just like one of the fun skills that Minecraft teaches you is when to care about something and when not to. I think something we all fall into the trap of, because you know, like, I don't know, do you ever like run into a friend from a long time ago where you used to be really, really good friends and your friendship's kind of dipped, but you think like, well, there's no reason why it should have dipped, and you're like, yeah, we'll totally be best friends forever, and then it never happens. Sometimes it does, but it usually doesn't. Like this kind of like, I want this old friendship that I used to have, but I like want it to still be maintained like it was then, just without any of the effort. That's a funnily but worryingly common thing I find that we have. Okay, let's break our way out here now. And now we've got a way in that's not quite waterproofed. I guess we put a door there, and then we've solved the water issue. Can we make a door there? Oh, we actually can. All we need to do is go into the mine shaft, right? So, there we go. Problem solved. We go into the mine shaft, we chop down enough bits of wood for a crafting table, and enough bits of woods for a door. And now you can see recycling my old stuff. So I've got 2 bits of wood, and I need 10 bits of wood. So, as easy as this. I've already gone through here and chopped some of the blocks. So I've clearly done this before. But now I have enough wood that I can make a wooden door. In fact, I'll make 3 wooden doors. This is one of those problems I was talking about. I'm now going to have too many of those to deal with. Also, I don't even know how this happened, but how do I have this just big cube of nothingness? I'm going to put my crafting table in here, because if I touch the edges, I'm sure it will like flood in with water, which I don't want. But if I place a block there, I think we'll be fine. And we can place our oak doors from here. How is there another one here? This is like in the middle of water. Again, we don't ask questions. When a Minecraft world gets old enough, just weird things start happening to it. And if you start trying to question those things, you're gonna end up in Insanity Town. Also, because we removed the water from the inside of this. Yeah, I think that was a bad decision, actually. I think we need to... You know what, we'll work out what we think we need to do later. For now, let's do some redstone, shall we? So, yeah, my redstone design is simple. It is just going to be a ton of redstone repeaters. Maybe we're going to use some stone to bridge over to some things. We're going to be very careful to avoid this. A ton of redstone repeaters, all set to, like, I don't know, either the minimum or the second minimum setting. Because that way, when you turn them on, it will just make this beautiful little line that you can follow. And we're going to have it make, like, a little... I don't know, spiral pattern or something. So we'll come in via this. I think we have to go up a block, and I have no idea how to do that. So we'll come in like this. I'll show you my... In fact, let's just take this now. We're underwater. None of it matters. Let's grab my lever, if I can. I bet it's somewhere above me right now. There it is. We grab the lever, and as you can see, we turn on the... Oh, we can't from there. We put it over there. That does not also work. Okay, let's... No, I was wrong. Putting the redstone down this close by did cause my water to flood in. So now I've got a very weirdly shaped area of whatever. It's fine. So, instead of there, we'll place it here. Please tell me the redstone repeater's not floating up. It totally is. Tam. So now we place that here. And just, there's something so satisfying about this, in my opinion. Like, it looks like it shouldn't be oh, we can't activate that. There we go. It looks like it shouldn't be happening, but just having rows of redstone repeaters activate, very, very enjoyable. If we set them to second minimum, I'm sure we get a very slightly different, but broadly similar effect. But now it lasts slightly longer. So now we have a few 2s. I've left some 1s in there, which will probably make it look jarring and, like, weird. But still, look at this. Ooh, yeah. Same effect, but slightly slower. Yeah, I think it actually looked best on the 1. It looked more magical feeling. This feels very robotic. Whereas if I set it to max, I'm sure it feels even weirder and even worse. Which might be your thing. Maybe you like weird and bad things, which is why you're watching this video, I guess. But as you can see, wow, look how fun that is. It has different speeds as it goes up the line too. That's also very fun. So yeah, what we can do now is we can utilize this basic mechanic, probably. And we probably have to work out a line for this, but we just have to move our blocks. How is this even gonna work? I guess when you power a redstone block, you can also power the blocks above it, right? Because pistons would be powered from up there. I think a piston would be powered if it was up there. Let's find out. Let's just put a redstone lamp right here. Because I know a redstone lamp would be powered on the side. And let's confirm the top block also receives power. So as you can see, my beautiful redstone now, after some serious time, all power's on. Wow, how beautiful. Also, I'm now going to just turn these to minimum. I think this was a terrible idea. I think I've made a very grand mistake. But as you can see, now that turns on, which means from this block, we can have a redstone repeater going this way. No, we cannot. That's not how that works. There's redstone here. We can't take it to the left. If the redstone was like this, it would go to the left. But as it stands, it won't go up a block. Even if we do that or that. Very strange. Okay, new plan, and here's the beautiful thing about redstone, right? You don't even need to know how redstone works if you're just able to terraform the environment so that you don't need to. And so now we move the redstone along this axis instead. And now we have a system, I hope at least, that should, very strong emphasis on should there, be able to flow in beautiful little lines, and then we'll have little lights that turn on and off as we go as well. So if you look at this, we have little flows that go on and off, and they make little glowy patterns. And now all we have to do is 3 more bits, besides collecting all of those blocks. We have to connect this to something up there, so I can activate it. Then we have to craft some more blocks, so this actually whole thing can work. And then all we have to do is actually not die. So 3 simple tasks. Let's see if we can make that work today. So anyway, hello, I'm IBX Toycat, I say once again. I kind of, you know, one of the things I really do miss about current YouTube is I liked intros. I liked the whole yo, 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 what's up, and here, get into another video. Like, I kind of understand why you know, if your YouTuber is trying to appeal to new viewers, people who aren't already watching them, you can't go, yo, it's your boy K-Dog, and I'm here with another epic rambling. You know, like whatever people say. There was a YouTuber who, like, always in, like, you know, when a YouTuber, like, is clearly talking to their fans and not you get very confused sometimes, where you're like, what is a madness? You're gonna have to explain that one to me. You can't use this overly broad term that doesn't have any description to it and then expect me to understand because you explained it in a video 3 years ago now. That just doesn't make sense to me. But I miss the intro as a current YouTube thing. Anyway, so speaking of current YouTube things, I'm gonna grab some more stone. I'm gonna grab a lot more stone. Don't worry, I've got plenty of supplies of it. And I'm gonna make myself some more repeaters, I think. I think that is something I would benefit from a lot. So make a whole stack of sticks, make a whole stack of redstone torches. That seems like a good idea. So just grab all of that, and just move one of those across. And then let's make some more repeaters. We're gonna need a ton more of these, so I think just like committing early to big crafting seems like a good decision. Also, wow, they are just, it's so intensive on the stone, apparently. This is finally a use for all that stone. Isn't it weird? By the way, can I just point out, like, if you take 3 stone blocks, right? 3 full stone blocks. These things that are this big, this is 3 stone blocks here. Like 1, 2, 3. You take 3 of those blocks and all you get is 1 repeater. Or you can craft those 3 stone blocks just like this and get 6 stone slabs. I just don't understand how we only get 1 repeater. Where does all the stone go in Minecraft? Anyway, speaking of recipes that don't make sense, because like really, it doesn't, right? There's no justification or argument that like this is actually a very logical feature that everyone perfectly understands. But yeah, I wanted to talk, as people know, the Let's Play. This is one of those terrible Let's Plays that is bad if you're a new viewer to YouTube who's like, what the heck is a Let's Play, Toy Cat? I don't even understand, because it's mostly a dead genre on YouTube. Because, you know, it's not the hyper-engaging, like, oh, today we spent 14,000 hours locked inside a box in Minecraft, and, you know, here's what it did for us, sort of stuff. I totally understand. I enjoy that second category of things, too. But, oh, it's raining, which I hate. But, yeah, one of the things I do during the Let's Play, it's kind of like an update as to what's been going on in the Toy Cat world. This is, you know, like a weekly update as to me playing Minecraft. This is the Update Adventures. And now the Update Adventures also covers the real world. I guess it always has. And so, in case you're curious, I climbed a mountain in between last week and this week. Again, I guess I like to kind of over-exaggerate it in my head because, you know, climbing a mountain is an impressive-sounding task. But yeah, I went up a very well signposted hill for the tallest point in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. It's actually only the tallest point in in Great Britain. You know, I love dumb geography facts, but like I assumed it was the tallest point in the UK, but because the UK technically claims a small sliver of Antarctica, and there is a higher mountain on that small bit of Antarctica, it is not the tallest peak inside British-owned territory. And again, I'm a stickler for dumb details like that, which is, you know, like even though I hate people who are like that, to me. Okay, so look at this, by the way. You see how beautiful that is? Like, the lights turning on and off. If we want to make things more fun, we can have the repeaters, like, turn on and power themselves. So, for example, we could have, like, a block coming up here. And then, like, you could have the redstone go around in a loop onto itself. And that would cause a little lock. And that lock could do some very interesting things. I think it could also go through the repeater to something else and do like that. I'm not sure if that'll work too well, but we might as well give it a try, right? I mean, why not? So first of all, let's Bob get some oxygen. See, again, this is designed to be difficult to see redstone, but which is weird because we see it way better when we're in the water than when we're out of the water, right? This looks fine. This looks terrible. As someone who has been underwater, I can assure you that's not how it works in the real world. So I send a nice big redstone pulse in. It does a little loop. Oh, it doesn't go through. It just... all it does is it makes a redstone lock on itself. I figured there'd be a way to deactivate this lock, but apparently not. What I have to do to deactivate the lock is have a piece of redstone which will be permanently turned off to do that. I'm not even sure I can do that. But yeah, either way, now I know I can't send it through like that. Which is useful to know, I guess. So yeah, what we have to do is have something turn on and off like that. We could use we could use a piston to do something or other like that. But for now, that's all we need to know. We just need to know, okay, here's a redstone lamp. It's going to come off the beaten path just for the fun of it. And then we'll have more redstone follow around here. And then eventually we'll head all the way back to where we started. And it'll be nice. Just redstone repeaters and underwater. Oh no, I'm going... if I place redstone repeaters here, it will remove this bit of water. Oh no, it won't, because it's the bottom. Okay, that's fine. So this... oh no, my water! Okay, I've got to treasure these little air pockets. They're very valuable, and I need to realize what I have before they vanish. Because that's very tragic. I have now permanently lost some of the broken bits of my world in a way that I'm not sure I can ever forgive myself for. Anyways, we'll just place 2 redstone lamps here. In fact, we'll have 3. Why not? And then we'll have, like... in fact, we can make every other block a redstone, a little dirt block instead of a repeater if we wanted to. We could also make all sorts of weird offshoots if we want. Like, let's have this lead to a lamp. And then let's also have... yeah, I think that's enough lamps. And then we'll finish off with a little redstone lamp over here. And then from there, and also down there. I don't think these ones will even power, but just for the fun of it. Then we'll have those lead round. And then eventually, if we do this correctly, they can lead into this first repeater. And from there... okay, look at this. From that first repeater, they can pull a full circle, which means, in fact, as long as I pull the circle once, it'll just continuously... Oh, it does not. So you can't send a redstone signal through a redstone power lamp. Okay, that's useful to know. So it only goes through the block. Okay, it won't go through this block either. I guess a repeater can send it through a block, but not a repeater can send a signal through a red... You know, I don't understand redstone. I always like to claim I do. And like, but you know, once you play around with it enough, you can get a hang of redstone. But the core mechanics, I'm always like, oh, no. It turns out I was lying when I said I understood it. So there you can see. We now have a redstone loop that should work infinitely, making a little power. Oh, it does! And it makes a little power as it goes along. And there we go. Isn't that cool? I think that's cool. And then if you add more complexity, you could add like a second path, which goes around at a slightly different pace than the first one. And depending on which one gets there first, you could send the redstone to make sure... You know, there's all sorts of other fun things we can do. In fact, why don't we just do them? If there are fun things to be done, we should do said fun things. So we'll break this, place a thingy-majiggy over here, and then 6 of these, but these go really slowly out to the side. And that way this will happen way later than you would expect all of the other stuff. Again, we're just having fun with redstone underwater here. And then because it's a slow signal, yeah, there we go. Look at this. It's like a race almost. You could have this be. And now, just by having this turned on, all I have to do is go back up to the surface, like I will. Oh, I don't know how. You know, this is such a terrible like form of access to what is meant to be a farm. Oh, and look, zombie piglins have spawned. Look how effective my farm is now. Do you see that? Do you see that amazing drop right there? Do you see this? Oh yeah, I'm just raking in the gold nuggets. During today's video, if you'll believe it, I got myself 4 gold nuggets. And from down there, there's just some weird stuff happening. And it makes the farm look so much more technical than it is. It's like, whoa, is that redstone required for the zombie pigmen? And as long as you don't know, which we'll just hope that people don't, it's like, whoa, yeah, that must be doing something. Local lighting zones and whatever. And honestly, it probably does stop drown from spawning sometimes. So I bet it does something. I bet it doesn't do nothing. It just does so close to nothing that it might as well be. And it also provides a little bit of a lighting show, just to make the farm a bit more interesting than just stand here and do nothing. And so, yeah. Isn't that so cool? Yeah, like, the ice becomes transparent basically only when you can see the glowstone. You can see through it technically without the lights through there, but the lights make it visible at different points in time. And so if we just place other blocks down there, now those things become better lit, and we can do all sorts of other fun things. That's actually really fun. I like that. I'm glad we did this. Little dumb piece of underwater redstone. I'm not glad about the zombie pigmen that I've got under here. You know, come on, guys. You have one job. Do they not drown? I mean, I guess they're zombies already. But like, why do zombies drown and become drowned zombies if a zombie piglin doesn't? Like, surely they should follow the same rules. Am I crazy for thinking that? Am I crazy? I mean, the fact that I just spent a while working on a piece of redstone that does nothing maybe tells you I am. So yeah, a big warning about redstone. On the Bedrock version, if you leave always active redstone in your non-loaded chunks and then you come back, weird things tend to happen. I can't tell you precisely what will happen, but I'll leave right now, for example. I'll enjoy my time looking at the jungle. Wow, look how the jungle looks. It is jungly, and it is woody. And then we come back after enjoying our view. Actually, I'm not sure what our simulation distance is, so we'll do a little flyby if you want to see the last few weeks of work. Because I've been particularly unfocused, you know, kind of that thing about we're always picking up new projects, picking them down. I used to like using the Let's Play as an opportunity to work on big projects, but I think there's a relatively reasonable expectation that you should be able to watch an episode of the Let's Play without having watched the previous one. You know, it's like it's an update as to what's happening, but you don't need to watch every one of them as much as I would like if you did. And so yeah, as a result, like, I guess picking up a single project each week sometimes means I don't finish them. So like this wall, it's finished, but it doesn't look finished, right? Like when you take a look at it, it feels like I've done something a little bit wrong. I personally like it, but I need to have something behind these walls for it to all make sense. And right now I don't have that. I just have some buttons, keeping some water in bay. Anyway, speaking of buttons and water, let's fly back into our ocean. And let's show you what happened, because again, I don't fully understand the ramifications of leaving redstone active outside your range. But it usually will get stuck in one of two positions, always on or always off. And in this case, it has not done either. So yeah, we got ourselves a little beautiful redstone loop. We can tie in some pistons. We could, if you really want to be fun, you can be like, you know what? Let's have some doors in there. Because I think if we place a door there, the door will make a little sound when it activates. You like that? But I feel as though that's the sort of thing that will just confuse me later on. Like, I'll hear that, and I'll be like, why? Why is that happening? So what we'll do is we'll place it over here in an even more confusing position. Actually, can you activate a door from the top of it? You can. Useful to know. We'll place another one over here, and then the two redstones... Oh, no, this won't even activate. That's just kind of left there. Whatever, we'll make some confusing stuff happen. It's great. And, yeah, this is my redstone build for the day. Did you like it? I hope you liked it. By the way, if anything is clear from the last couple of episodes and playing around with redstone lamps, I think it really should be the fact that I'm lacking on redstone, or rather glowstone supplies, because both times I've had to go mine some glowstone. It's just not a resource I ever use too frequently, and if I'm being honest with you, one of my big character flaws, and perhaps this is a big part of that, is that I really have this issue of doing what is perhaps the popular thing or the commonly done thing to be done so. Again, this is why, even despite seeing that it's so popular to do these, you know, I spent 1400 days locked inside a Minecraft IKEA store. I can't bring myself to do that, you know, like it's because I just have this like despite liking success and money and all the other things that come with successful YouTube videos, you know, like it's much more fun to like find my own way there, find my own way anywhere really, and like I have this like character trait to like a pretty extreme level where even glowstone, which is just a probably good resource to collect. I'm gonna mine the glowstone in my frozen area, by the way, because I think it kind of messes with the natural vibe over here. But yeah, basically even something as simple as like glowstone being a pretty light. I had so many friends, you know, back when I played Minecraft socially. Ooh, those were some dark days. Can you believe I wasn't even I had to talk to it. It wasn't the majority where I played my worlds, but I used to play every now and then. And I'd always have friends who were just in love. Oh, this is, how many fireworks am I gonna waste not getting inside some glowstone? Damn it! Fine, I'll just use some scaffolding. Fine, if that's what you want, Minecraft, I'll do it your way. But I had a friend I had a few friends who just really loved glowstone because it's like a torch, but it's slightly brighter, and they just loved the way that it looked when compared to torches. But to me, it's like, no, the torch is the OG. I want to keep using it anyway. And so that like long-standing aversion is why I just try not to use glowstone anywhere. But given that it's useful for redstone lamps, and given that redstone lamps are like a fun way to play around with redstone, it's something I want to do more of, because I do want to I think stupid redstone is something I want to expand more upon. People liked the, you know, like the cobblestone generator I made. I really like that cobblestone generator. I think there's more room for playing around with weird stuff we can do like that. Again, I mentioned before, when I spoke about redstone in my controversial opinion video, I was like, yeah, it's just so hard to learn basic mechanics, etc. And I do agree with that to some very high extent, which is why I feel like, you know, rather than just complaining that something is broken, doing something, you know, when it's within your realm of, you know, like competency, or even close to it, do something to fix it. Even if it's not, I think sometimes just trying to fix a problem helps you understand the problem so much better. You know, like, I've always said this, that the biggest problem with politics is we talk about these giant issues that affect everyone in such abstract senses. Like, yeah, you know, if I was Prime Minister, President, I would just solve poverty. And, you know, while I was at it, might even whack racism with a big stick too. You know, that's how good of a leader I would be. I'd hit the no racism button and we would solve social ills. You know, do you see the economic inequality button? I would turn that lever off. And I can't believe that everyone who's been running for the position won't commit to doing the same. And it's like, well, I mean, there are lots of levers that you can pull as a government and as a thing, but I don't think it's that simple. But, you know, like, until you think about it from more of a level than this guy says that he will do that, and this guy says that I don't trust this person, etc. Then we do things much worse. Same with like, you know, people want to make the world a better place, and they're like, the best way to do so is clearly to, I don't know, like probably convince people to vote for the people who are gonna hit the, you know, I don't know, whichever button you care about, and end bad thing here button. You know, like there's a lot of claims from that from both sides, right? And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do the thing that leads to the. Am I gonna lose some of this glowstone in fire? I bet I did. And it's like, well, yeah, clearly there's a reason that doesn't work all the time. And yeah, I've just had fire burning here this whole time. Not a smart thing, all things considered. But yeah, basically, I think that along the same vein, just like trying to fix a problem is worth doing. And like Redstone sucks in my opinion, but rather than being like Redstone sucks on the sideline and saying the best thing I can do to help Redstone is to complain about it loudly in videos, I think it's better to, you know, like try a few things, show people some basic redstone. Even though, like, again, the sexiest redstone for videos is always going to be like, ooh, this redstone allows you to build a house that has 16 or... No, don't do it, Ghast. Don't do it. Don't do it. No! Oh, you make me watch my own destruction in slow-mo. I don't like it. Oh no, why are you like, no, okay, it's fine, it's fine. This is only partially terrible. No! I think that explosions, when they happen far enough away, they're not destroying much ice for some reason. Thank God. Oh, well that was terrible, in every sense of the word. Do you like my frozen farm, by the way? Do you want to say nice things about it? You know, here's the crazy thing. I got like a nice comment on Q&A Saturday last week that genuinely changed the flow of how this one went. Like, I think YouTube creators often talk about how the value of one negative comment can often outweigh 99 good comments. You know, like having 99% of people that you meet say nothing to you or say only nice things, and then having 1% of people just hate you. Like, we're kind of wired to hate that. We don't want people to despise us. It's very bad for us as creatures if that happens. We have all sorts of weird negative behaviors that stem from it. I'm sure that those behaviors are going to be more severe in people who had families where perhaps, you know, like maybe someone is very severely hatey towards you and can like withhold your basic care, or even like, you know, implicitly threaten to do so based upon that. You know, that's a thing I understand. But the important thing is just to say that, like, usually positive feedback is outweighed by negative feedback, because negative feedback is this scary, not quite existential threat, but that's where it's wired in to believe. That's what your brain is wired to believe that it is, at least. And oh yeah, there's glowstone just over here too. How handy. Let's go grab this. But because your brain is hardwired to believe that it's so bad, that's why I think, at least, you know, maybe entirely wrong on this, maybe just, you know, humans be bad psychologically. But while we're on the subject of humans being so bad psychologically and thinking like that things are so bad on that, I also want to talk about the opposite happened this week. Like, you know, I bet there are a ton of bad, you know, comments saying something or other awful. I get a lot of you know, the value of negative feedback eventually turns into nothing. Like, genuinely, when someone says something about, like, you know, the most common criticisms will be like, oh yeah, I prefer things the old way. I don't know if that'll be thumbnails. Sometimes it's less, but if it's like a really basic, like, not well thought out comment, it's like, don't have to care about your opinion. Sorted. Move on to the next one. You know, it's like when someone actually like carefully cares about something and they show that they clearly liked something before, that you're like, oh no, this is a real downside. And even saying that out loud, I'm like, oh no, I'm giving people the secret keys to cause harm and pain. But yeah, it's like that's the thing that like actually has an impact, emotionally speaking or whatever, right? And just knock down another one of these. How nice. We'll go get a few, because we got ourselves 100 glowstone. Man, it really is a hard resource to get a lot of, huh? But I'm going to go get myself a ton of the regular blitz now, because I need it for whether it's enchanting, not enchanting, brewing, or just like, I don't know what else I'll use it for. What can you use glowstone dust for besides brewing and glowstone? I don't think a lot, but we're going to get some regular dust anyway, just because I feel like I should. Is that a good reason? I mean, anything's a good reason if you believe in yourself. And So we use the fortune pickaxe, even though it doesn't work on glowstone, because I want to believe that it does. Huh. I guess explosions from gas just don't work today. I'm very happy to hear that. But yeah, so there's this funny thing where like feedback kind of when you receive it enough drops to 0. But I had a comment that really did change my feeling on something, and it's weird. Okay, well I guess it's hurting again now, is it? There you go. That's your death. Okay, that's not your death. Is this your death? I'm aiming just a tiny bit too high. Is that better? That's better. Honestly, you know what? Gas spawning going up, kind of fun at first, but the Nether is much worse now that there's permanent explosion monsters running around. There needs to be an easy way to stop them from spawning. Because, you know, the whole point in Minecraft, like, they've said this before, they don't want monsters that can, like, destroy your world, right? Like, if you build something, the game shouldn't destroy it up because of a natural disaster. But then we have the equivalent for natural disaster that just chills in the Nether the whole time. I find that interesting. It's almost like a, not quite a hole in the logic, but it's a reminder that, like, any form of logic you find, there's always going to be some slight hole in it where you're like, well, actually, this is wrong. I find it funny watching people, like, communicate to YouTube, because you often see the same thing where, like, if you talk about a subject that a small number of people are experts about, even though you're not talking to those experts, they'll be like, well, actually, here's the, you know, you said that interstate highways go between states, but actually, in some cases, they don't. And, like, it's not that important to mention that sometimes they don't. Like, if it's not relevant, you don't need to mention it. But sometimes, again, like, if you don't mention the exception to rules, people will be like, oh, you just didn't know them, and I do. And it's like this, like, weird thing that people have. And speaking of weird things that people have, I wanted to discuss something that I think we've brought before, but I've been thinking about it again this last week, which is like, because I climbed a mountain. It was a very big climb. On the way up, I was like 30 minutes into climbing, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm so exhausted. I'm so out of breath. Because again, it's like, it's walking for half an hour, but then also uphill, and also trying to make some serious progress, and also realizing that, like, oh, yeah, you're going to be doing this for some time, huh? Like, just all of that coalesced into a moment of just, oh, no, what have I gotten myself into? And, like, half an hour in, I was, like, legitimately sure I couldn't do any more, you know? Like, oh, or at the very least, like, I wasn't going to make it anywhere near the top, because if I was exhausted now, how far could I make it? As it turns out, I did about, I don't know, 4 hours on the way up and about 3 hours on the way down. I had about maybe 45 minutes of break in there somewhere. Oh, my phone is ringing. Just in case it's important. It's not going to be. I'm so anti-phone call. Like, I don't know why I haven't just disabled the feature on my phone. Every now and then, like literally once every 6 months, you have a very important phone call, and the rest of them you're like, oh, this isn't good for me. This is like, this is only beneficial for the person on the other end. And so that phone call was, I rented a car to go to Scotland. Wow, have I mentioned that? Should I mention again? I went to Scotland. I climbed a mountain. It was great. Took 4 hours up and 3 hours down, because it's faster to go down a mountain than up, because your legs do a lot of the work. It actually hurts way more though, I find. Like, right now I literally cannot descend my stairs because it hurts so bad. I have to like do it step by step. Anyway, and so I got a phone call after I returned my car, because I returned it in Scotland, because I flew back. It took 8 hours to drive. I feel like even though I'm like a new driver and I like driving, it's fun as like a thing to do every now and then. Like an 8-hour drive or a 2-hour flight, even by the time you add in an hour train to the airport and like a 2-hour wait at the airport for the plane, it's like, who wants to drive 8 hours when you can fly 5? Also, the fuel, like, it costs money for petrol these days, I hear. Anyway, speaking of things that it costs money for, so after I returned the car to Scotland, I got a call from the branch I rented it from, and they were like, oh yeah, hey, do you want to make sure you fill out a survey? We'd love to 5 stars, but, you know, that generic thing. And it's like, sure. It's a little bit pushy to, like, give me a call kind of unnecessarily just to say, if you get a survey, please fill it in nicely. But, you know, they hadn't been too mean to me. Actually, no, they had been terrible to me. You know, I want to complain about this to someone. So you're my source of complaints, internet. Do you mind if I complaint dump on you? So I booked a car from 9 a.m. on Saturday to 9 a.m. on Monday. A 2-day rental. Wow, now you understand it. And I got there at like 10:30, 11 because my train got delayed to the rental place. And I guess it was nice that they explained it honestly rather than BSing me. They're like, oh yeah, the owner just assumed you weren't coming and so he's driving your car right now. And it's like, you assumed I wasn't coming because I was 90 minutes late. You know, like even though I prepaid this whole thing, and then you're driving the car that I have paid for is currently being driven by you, the person who no doubt has their own car, by the way, because this is a place you really only can drive to and from. So like, and it's like it's just, you know, there's a lot of levels to that I just find like a little bit annoying. Like, you know, you can drive your car and they own the car. It's great. That's wonderful. But like when it's reserved, maybe leave it there until you get some confirmation that it's not. So I lost half an hour of my time just kind of waiting around because of that. And you know, again, it's fine. It's no issue. But also it's an issue, right? Like, come on. Anyway, that my own interaction was very, very minorly negative. Not enough to leave a review or anything. But like, repeatedly telling me to leave a positive review after having done something negative, that's the only bit that rubs me. And so calling me once to do that, okay, sure. I get it. You know, the whole way that manager's thing is valued as 5-star ratings. And if he's driving the customers' cars all the time, then it's probably going to upset them at some point and needs to balance those out with some positive ones. No issues from me. I understand the game. I actually like when service people are honest and just like, yeah, we get rated based on this. Please give... I like to give people 5 stars based on that. That's great. You know, you're an Uber driver. If you haven't crashed, you get 5 stars. If you did crash, I gave 4 stars to the Uber driver who crashed with me in because he was paying attention to his phone. You know, that's fine. You know, as long as you're going to your destination or whatever. But, like, then to call a second time and be like, just wanted to remind you about this. No, this was not, like, not only was I busy here doing this Let's Play, figured it might be important, I couldn't tell what the number was. But not only was I busy over here, but also just, like, you don't know. I hate that, like, there's this one number that you have that you can get, that people require you to give them for things like, again, I just wanted to borrow someone's car for a weekend. I was compensating them. They're like, yeah, we'll just take your number, just in case we want to contact you about things that are important. And then they use it to contact me about things that aren't important. And it's like, no, this is too much. Whatever. I'm being ridiculous right now, is what I'm saying. I'm 100% aware. But yeah, I find. By the way, I'm gonna do another little important renovation I noticed recently, because I used to when I set up my cocoa bean farm. This is a semi-automatic farm. It's not fully automatic. Sorry to admit. I never filled it up with buckets because I didn't have enough then. Now I have too many buckets, and so I'm going to use some to my advantage. Anyway, like I was saying, I feel as though there's this problem with asymmetric relationships, right? And if you're curious what I mean by that, like I've mentioned before. But, you know, like, the way a parking charge works, because you can feel, like, have you ever heard the story of the guy who got mailed a check by a company, one of those, like, scam checks, but he actually tried to cash it, and it actually worked, and then he had to give back the money because it was received in error or whatever. Like, they tried really hard to sue to get the money back because, yeah, you know, we were only sending it out as an advertisement. It wasn't a real check, even though it had all the stamps for a real check. Like, that's a funny example where this doesn't go the right way. But, you know, for a better example, during COVID, during times, you know, times were hard for companies, as I'm sure you've been reminded several dozen times. See, there's no water in this dispenser, and there needs to be. So we're going to put a ton of water in, just so we can have our cocoa beans do some stuff. But yeah, like I was saying, during COVID, a lot of companies could not answer their phone calls as a result. And that's fine, like, during this challenging, difficult time, okay, that's fine, that's understandable. We had a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic, I say, before we have another pandemic, because we've now shifted the definition down a little bit as to what becomes pandemic-y. Maybe we've shifted it up, I don't know. We've definitely shifted our definition on that from the last few years, now that we're out of the woods or whatever. But anyway, for the most part, in most countries and territories, your situation may vary. Please follow local authorities' advice and not internet cats. Anyway, but you know, during that time, so many companies, especially airlines, were just like, yeah, we're not refunding you. If you want your money, no. You can have a credit so that you can do this in the future. Or like the funniest one to me is like, have you ever considered, you know, like flights being delayed is a really normal part of flying. If you've never flown before, it's just it's gonna happen to you at some point. If you're mentally prepared for it now, it'll save you a lot of pain. Flights get delayed. You know, planes are one of the hardest. They're big, they're expensive, and they travel huge distances, and they require very qualified individuals. There's so many moving parts that are in favor of a flight being delayed. And so that, again, 1 in every 10 or 1 in every 5 flights is delayed. It's depending on which figures, which country, which level of delay you count. But it's funny though, because when a plane is delayed, the airline is always like, "Oh yeah, we're so sorry. You know, like stuff happens though. You know, like the flight is 2 hours later than it's meant to be. Yeah, you know, this just stuff happens. I hope you understand." Whereas if you show up just 10 minutes late for a flight, you know, you can't be like, "Oh yeah, sorry, get delayed. You know how it is. These things happen." It's like, well, you have forfeited now. You've officially just... Oh god, okay, this is not working correctly if it's flowing on this side. At least it's not knocking any torches down, I guess. You have forfeited your ticket. You have forfeited your rights as a passenger, and all the money you spent on the ticket, that's ours now. Sorry, you didn't shop. It's in the terms. You know, it's like asymmetric, like, contract enforcement. Same thing with, like, if you stick a notice up onto some major corporation being like, if you would like to... If you put a little message on your mailbox being like, if spam mail is posted in this mailbox, then there will be a £100 fine to whoever does that. If you put that sign on your mailbox, no one's going to listen to it. That's not going to be enforceable. Even if you do try and find companies, it's just not going to work. Whereas something I just find it weird, like, because you know how car parks work, right? You park in the car park and you pay the amount of money and then you drive off. However, some car parks are free unless you follow the terms of the car park, and those terms can be as arbitrary as they want. You know, like it can be like, well, you can park for free as long as you're in between the lines. Not in between the lines. There's then we'll charge you the normal parking charge, which by the way is £100. That we charge £100 for parking, and we waive it if you park between the lines. And it's like that's a very strange way to word it, but whatever. And they can enforce that very heavily because they have access to the list of license plates, and they can send out like notices to everyone who has been registered under a certain one and say, yeah, you did this, you owe us money, and we'll take you to court if we don't. You know, there's this asymmetry of power where if a giant corporation sues you, your odds of being able to win are very low, even if you're in the right. That's why it's like very, very, very challenging. But like this is also true for governments. Like, I needed a again, we're talking about driving examples because I guess that is a recent thing that has happened. There was a big scandal recently. Apparently, the people, the DMV of the UK, the DVLA is what they're called, just sent all of their staff home with pay. You know, they paid their staff because of course, I mean, it's not their fault they're not working. And the reason that like I had to wait 3 months for my license is not because of like some unmissable delay. It's because like instead of making people work from home, they just said, yeah, you know, don't work from home. We'll still pay you. There's a pandemic going on, which like, yeah, again, like there's an asymmetrical relationship where I paid my money as well as paying my taxes, by the way, to you know like get this service done, and they're just like, oh, sorry, we said it would take 2 weeks, but it took 3 months. Our bad, pandemic. Whereas if I want to be like, yeah, I'm sorry, government, you know those taxes I owe you? I just don't feel like pay you because it's been hard times for us all. I don't have a date where I'll be able to pay you, but like, you know, get back to me and I'll let you know as soon as I have an update. You know, it doesn't work that way, right? There's this asymmetry of power that makes it impossible. Also, I think I have a bad design for my system. I need to put like a button here or something. Would a torch do the job? I guess it wouldn't. It needs to be... Yeah, I guess it would literally need to be a button. What's the closest thing we have to a button on me right now? You know, we'll make a button from this block of stone right here. That's not the right way to make a block of stone. Make a button now. Place the button over there. And there we go. I've made my farm more effective. Pro tips of ToyCat. Man, playing around with water physics is something I feel like I could do all day. Water physics and Redstone. Next week, I'm just going to spend a solid hour being confused at both those things and trying to do minorly effective things. It's going to be a lot of fun. In the meantime, you can watch me as I watch cocoa beans grow from third person, because this is the end of this update adventure. I don't think I really went anywhere with it. Like, I made a lovely piece of redstone. Do you want to see it again? Actually, I bet I can see it from anywhere in the area, right? It's not as cool when you're not looking directly down. But still, you can effectively make ice transparent using glowstone. Or using redstone lamps. Which means you can kind of like... I don't know, I just felt like there's a really cool thing to that. That we've got to be using somewhere. But speaking of using things somewhere, I've used you for the last time to ask you to subscribe. Because I'll see you all in the... Oh, also, the stuff is still happening. The fun merch people keep asking about. It's gone some fun places. I'm really excited to show you when I can see more. But it's the first time the company has worked on anything like these. So we're just having some, you know, little design crinkles we're working out. But yeah, I look forward to seeing that, showing you that in the not so near future. Because I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.